Doing anything good next week, Tampa? Anything better than traveling? Well, with Expedia's last-minute deals, you can pretty much go anywhere you want to go. Last minute for less. Like Orlando for theme parks and wine bars, the two happiest places on earth. Or Miami for the best people watching in the world. Or New York for the best everything else. Get more out of your summer and spend less. Last-minute deals only from Expedia. Expedia. Travel the world better. Terms and conditions apply. See Expedia for details.
Blog Talk Radio.
This is Fight Back, the Internet's premier anti-social justice, anti-communist, anti-socialist program on the Internet. If you are ready to get into this fight, you are amongst friends. If you are not, then this show may be too intense for you. Well, hey there. My name is Ross, and this is Fact here on Blog Talk Radio. Today, we attack and debunk some of the misplaced anger that is happening in the urban community. And there is anger. Doubt. The president is right that not all this anger is manufactured. My point is, and your point is, that it is not only not manufactured, it's misplaced. You know, when last week during the San Jose Donald Trump rally, a lot of people out there protesting and attacking Donald Trump supporters, attacking them, throwing objects at them, accosting them, and this sort of anger. Well, you know what? There is an anger that is underlying current about America. Anger is misplaced. The fact of the matter, Donald Trump ain't a damn thing to you for you to be mad at Donald Trump. You know, if you're in the urban community, let me help you. You know what? The Republican Party hasn't done a damn thing to you for you to be mad. There's no reason for you to be mad at John McCain or John Boehner or Paul Ryan or Sarah Palin. They haven't done a damn thing to you. Created a lifestyle for you that has been detrimental. Those are not the people you should be that you need to be angry at. Not at all. They are not your problem. Never were your problem. Not even a little bit. And today we're going to explore 3 different things for you to be pissed off at. I want to direct this anger in a constructive manner. That way you'll stop getting caught up in the bullcrap of those that would destroy you, that you're next. I want you to see some truth as to the useful idiots that you're being used as punks that a lot of people in the community, you know, and have been, you know, so people could get votes, people could get offices, so people could get money. And they use you and your condition to make damn sure that you're never, ever going to crawl out of that situation. That's what we're talk about today, because it is beyond time. It is beyond time for us to start making these changes, and you know what, and having somebody come out and say and speak truth to what's really going on. Speaking truth that gets supported by people like George Soros. You know, it's just amazing to me, and somebody's got to explain to me, how come the only person getting paid in the Black Lives Matter movement is a white dude pretending to be black, walk around in blackface? Does that not send up some red flags that the only some bitch getting paid is a white man to be black? That doesn't, you know what, say something to you? It should, shouldn't it? Shouldn't that say something to you? Shouldn't you be going, damn, right? Right? But no, you don't. You just go along because the overseers, and I'll use that term, and that's an offensive term, but I don't give a damn. It is what it is. The overseers continue to tell you that these people, these liberals, these white Democrats, have your best interest at heart. Well, we're going to look into that. We're going to look into seeing if they indeed have our best interest at heart. You know what? I'm not somebody who believes that. I'm a child who was born in 1960, and we lived in New Jersey when it was getting burned down. And I've lived in black communities pretty much all my life, and I don't see the amount of improvement in infrastructure. I don't see the amount of improvement in jobs. I don't see the amount of improvement in innovation, technology. I don't see the same amount of improvement where black people live or people of color live as to where white people live. Even white Democrats, even white liberals. They talk about it. They talk a big game, but they don't live where you live. Have you noticed that the only time that white liberals live in urban center is through gentrification, when they're kicking people out of their homes so they can build condos and free Starbucks. That's the only time. That's the only time. Now, this message is to a lot of people who normally don't agree with me, but you know what? We've got something in common, and we need to fight back. We need to fight back against the same system that's really brought you down. You know what? These same people have told you who your enemies are when they're all along. And I'm going to prove it today in 3 different areas. Abortion. You're mad about Mike Brown. You're angry about Trayvon Martin. You're angry about Sandra Bland. You know what? Shapiro, interestingly enough, said, you know what? All the black people who've been murdered by police, we know. All the other people who've been murdered by police who have not been of color, we don't know who the hell they are. There's a reason for that. So we're going to talk about America's poorest cities. We're going to talk about the black genocide. That is not Trayvon Martin. That is not Mike Brown. That is not Sandra Bland. And we're going to talk about America's most dangerous cities, where we have to live, where we have to go to the store, where we have to go and buy shoes and buy milk and buy eggs and go to school. And who's been responsible for those cities for umpteen years? Today I'm going to give you the tools and the information by which to fight back. This is Fight Back, the Internet's premier anti-social justice, anti-communist, anti-socialist program on the Internet. If you are ready to get into this fight, you are amongst friends. If you are not, then this show may be too intense for you.
Doing anything good next week, Tampa? Anything better than traveling? Well, with Expedia's last-minute deals, you can pretty much go anywhere you want to go. Last minute for less. Like Orlando for theme parks and wine bars, the 2 happiest places on Earth. Or Miami for the best people watching in the world. Or New York for the best everything else. Get more out of your summer and spend less. Last-minute deals only from Expedia. Expedia. Travel the world better. Terms and conditions apply. See Expedia for details.
You're tired of the cold? You're tired of the taxes? It's time to move to Florida. And our friend Gary Knight at New Homes of Tampa Bay is the perfect person to help you. You can just give Gary a call at 813-770-9452, or you can go to the website to look for your brand new home at www.newhomestpa.com. Move to Florida. It's about time. Living in Florida has always been your dream. Buying a brand new home, always been your dream. Now those dreams can come true. If you are relocating to Florida, make sure you call New Homes of Tampa Bay first at 813-770-9452. Nobody does a better job in matching you and your family into the perfect home and the perfect community than my friends at New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can find them on the web at www.newhomestpa.com, or you can give them a call at 813-770-9452. That's 813-770-9452. There is no greater American dream than the dream of home ownership. It is one of the things that separates us from the rest of the world. The fact that an average middle-class family can own a piece of property, call it their home, settle there, and raise a family. In the past few years, it has become more and more difficult for middle-class families to attain this dream. But my friends at New Homes of Tampa Bay are making this dream possible for many, many people. New Homes Tampa Bay, www.newhomestpa.com, 813-770-9452. Good morning. My name is Willie Lawson, and I'm the host of the Willie Lawson Show here on Blog Talk Radio. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at theredriverchronicle.com. Theredriverchronicle.com is the finest conservative website on the internet, bar none. It's the best place to find well-written articles, thoughtful commentary, and educational materials to help you with your conservatism. There's no better place on the internet for conservatives than the redriverchronicle.com. The heart, soul, mind behind the redriverchronicle.com is my friend Kevin Batts. Make sure that you start your day with the redriverchronicle.com. This is Fight Back, the internet's premier anti-social justice, anti-communist, anti-socialist program on the internet. If you are ready to get into this fight, you are amongst friends. If you are not, then this show may be too intense for you. All right, we're back. We are back. Thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Thanks for having the nerve to do it. Thanks for having the guts. Thanks for having the guts to listen to the hard truths that you like or you may not like. Thanks for getting into the struggle. We talk we get so much bullcrap about the struggle, being down with the struggle. This is the damn struggle. This is the real struggle. That other stuff is bullcrap, not fit for consumption. We're going to first attack the most dangerous cities in America. The most dangerous cities in America. And we're going to go through the top 5 or 10, and then you're going to notice a couple of things about them as well. According to Neighborhood Scouts, top 10 most dangerous cities in America, starting at number 10, St. Louis, Missouri. Number 9. Dropping down four spots from last year, Oakland, California. Number 8, dropping down 4 spots from last year, Saginaw, Michigan. At number 7, holding from last year, Flint, Michigan. At number 6, up 4 spots from number 10, Memphis, Tennessee. At number 5, up 4 spots from last year, Wilmington, Delaware. Number 4, up 7 spots from number 11 last year, Alexandria, Louisiana. Holding firm at number 3, Detroit, Michigan. Number 2, down the spot from last year, Camden, New Jersey. And from off the charts last year to number 1, the most dangerous city in America, in a list compiled by Neighborhood Scouts Top 10 Most Dangerous Cities 2016, East St. Louis, Illinois. You may have noticed a couple of things about all of these places. All of these places are all urban areas that are predominantly black. Black people live there. A lot of black people live there. And something else you might have noticed, that most of these places, all of these places, are run by liberal Democrats who spend all their time blaming conservative Republicans or conservatives for the problems in their cities. These cities hadn't been run by conservative Republicans for 40 years and then turned over last year when all hell broke loose. These places have been most of them the epitome of the progressive social engineering bullcrap that continues to enslave minorities, enslave people of color in this country since they put Native Americans on reservations. If you think Cabrini Green is anything other than a reservation for niggers, you're crazy. It's the same thing. These housing developments, if you think there's something more than reservations, you're out of your mind. You have missed the point. This is not a good thing that they gather you all up, that they gather us up and take our homes away from us by blighting our neighborhoods, tearing them down, building interstates where people used to have homes and businesses, building freeways, expressways in the same place where people used to live, and calling it progress, tucking black people or people of color or minorities in these especially up north in these high-rise areas, that are some of the most dangerous places to live. They're not well maintained. Gang violence thrives. Drugs thrive. Prostitution thrives. And there ain't a cop in sight. And then they have the nerve to blame people who didn't put you there. Like it was somehow George Bush's idea to stuff everybody's ass in a high-rise project. That somehow was George Bush's idea. That was John Boehner's idea. That was Mitch McConnell's idea. I ain't no fan of Mitch McConnell, but y'all can't lay that on him. That was Donald Trump's idea. And then you have the compassionate liberals who go, you know what? It's because of the poverty. You see, it's the poverty that makes young black men join gangs and commit crimes. See, it's poverty. They don't understand. Well, are you serious? Or somebody actually said that to me. Somebody said that, you know what? Well, because they're poor. Well, because poor people are more likely to break laws. Because poor people, apparently, because they're poor, don't have any morals. Poor people don't know. This is what the liberals say about us. Poor people don't have any morals. Poor people don't have any moral direction or moral compass, and are more likely to break laws because they're poor. Well, let's go ahead, and we're going to probably be jumping the gun on ourselves a little bit, and we are, but that's okay. That's fine. Let's look at some of the poorest cities in America. Number one with a bullet, according to CBS News, the head of the vanguard of the old white liberal media, Detroit, Michigan. The percentage of incomes under $25,000 a year is 48%. Percentage of population with bachelor's degrees, 12.7%. Percentage of incomes over $150,000, 1.9%. Total population, 706,000 people. The city's once famous economic good fortune faded with the decline of the U.S. auto industry. In 2014, Detroit became the largest city in the U.S. to ever declare bankruptcy. The city's current poverty rate is infamous. It has thousands of vacant, abandoned homes and communities without the expected municipal services. Detroit even shut off water to thousands of customers who are delinquent on their water bills. With the help of a plan to drop about $7 billion of its $18 billion of debt, the city exited bankruptcy last December. The whole city, Detroit, Michigan, went bankrupt. A city and a state that have been run for years by liberal Democrats and the unions. That's who they've been run by forever. Number one, poorest city in America. Let's go to the next city. Let's see what that is. Let's see what the deal is there. I'll try to anyway. Okay, sorry. Milwaukee, number two, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Wisconsin, the bastion of liberal thought in the Midwest, the bastion of progressivism in the Midwest. Percentage of incomes under $25,000, 36.5% of people who live in Wisconsin, who live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, earn less than $25,000 a year. Percentage of population with bachelor's degrees, 22.1%. Percentage of incomes over $150,000, 3%. Population about 500,000. Another place, the bastion of liberal thought in Wisconsin. Number three, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Uniontown, blue-collar town, Democrat town. Been that way forever. Been that way forever. Percentage of incomes under $25,000 a year, 36.4%. That is ridiculous. That is insane. That is awful. These areas continually run by Democrats and have been run by Democrats for 100 years. 100 years. I understand. You know, a couple of years ago, I had the honor of going to Right Online. Thanks to my good friend Ali Akbar, and thanks to the good people at American for Prosperity. And I had the pleasure of hearing a woman that she changed my thinking. I don't want to get all hyperbolic that she changed my life, but she did make a huge impression on me. I'm going to play part of her message there a couple of years ago at Right Online. if you're angry, if you're pissed off about where you live and how you live, listen to my friend Sonny Johnson.
I want to show you how I would deliver this conservative message to the black community. Can I do that real quick? I hear you. I feel you. I get it. Life in your America sucks. Your parents didn't care or weren't there. The schools pushed you out without making sure you can read. Politicians tell you that a brighter tomorrow, so you smoke as much as you can to get through today. You are tired of seeing your brothers, sons, daughters, cousins, your friends killed, imprisoned, or lost to drugs. You want to do the right thing, but all it takes is one time, one mistake for everything to go wrong. And picking yourself up seems impossible because you can't get a job when you have a record. You're sleeping on your mama's couch because you can't afford your own space. You feel unfit to parent your children because your life is so screwed up. What in the hell are you going to teach them? I get it. I know. But you are being surrounded by the people that championed your tracks. They developed your public housing. They took control of your education. They sent your fathers to jail for nonviolent offenses. Made single motherhood cool by calling it feminism. Built the police force through unionization you claim harass you. And now when you're fed up, they give agitators reign to burn down your city. Show me your friends and I'll show you your future. If your friends are yelling for death and destruction, do they actually want change? Is it that what you live in now? Democrats want to be the party of the poor. In order for that to happen, they have to keep you poor. You always have to fight the oppressors. That will mean you are always oppressed. You call us the party of the rich. And I'm going to steal this straight out of Stacey's mouth. Well, I had it written down already. We just think alike. You call us the party of the rich. And I'm not going to be spineless like those who run from it. I'm not rich, but by the grace of God, I will be. I love money. I love the feeling of security. I love being financially dependent on no one but myself and my husband. I love being able to provide my daughters with Nikes and books, an iPad and robotics camp. It is a great feeling. Now come and eat with us. Come and eat with us. If you are tired of being poor and overlooked, come and eat at a table that believes in ownership and growth. See, we won't begrudge your success because we know that the next dinner is on you.
The very same people who put you where you are the very same people who are telling you to be angry at somebody else. The very same people who are saying to you that it's it's Republicans' fault. It's Republicans' fault. It's Republicans' fault. Well, that's bullshit. Of course it isn't. It's ridiculous. These are the people who planned and built these housing projects. These are the very same people, and I went through these cities who run these cities that are the poorest and most violent cities in America, who built these police forces by unionizations that you say harass you, that you say kill you, who you say are, who are responsible for Freddie Gray, who are responsible for Sandra Bland, who are responsible for Mike Brown. These are the very same police forces through unionization, through Democrat politicians, you say are killing us. But as soon as you complain, they take the police department and throw them on the bus. Can't you not see? Can you not see with your eyes? You're being played. And you being played has always been the plan. You being played in the urban community, black people in the urban community, you being played has always been the plan. It's always been the plan. If all you have to do is open a book, all you have to do is read any Saul Alinsky, anybody who is trying to institute a socialist form of government or or anarchy, and they'll tell you that you've got to have useful idiots. You've got to have people who really believe that they are fighting for one thing when the fact of the matter is you're using them to forward your agenda. You know, it's interesting. With the death of Muhammad Ali on the 3rd, I guess that was 3 days ago. I started, and people started talking about what a great leader he was, and what a great humanitarian, and how much influence that he had, and my brain, because my brain kind of works like this, pity me, went immediately to people like Jesse Jackson and people like Al Sharpton, and those two men in particular. And I thought to myself, what the hell do they do? How can this ex-fighter with Parkinson's make a bigger difference in the lives of Americans than these two guys have done all these years? We see Al Sharpton win when there is a crisis, and somebody calls him and says, "We need Al Sharpton, wow, because we need to get some eyes on this." Are you kidding me? We've been played. We've been played by the very same people who have designed these very same systems in the urban community. We've been played because then they blame somebody else for our condition in the very cities that they planned, in the very systems that they put together, in the very systems that they fund, so their friends can get rich. When you have these planned communities, projects, who builds them? Somebody builds them, and somebody gets rich doing it. When you talk to me about the school, the prison complex, you know what? A lot of conservatives will sort of go to that. I don't necessarily do that, because it's the same plan, or it's a very similar plan to taking people out of their homes, building interstates and expressways, and putting them in project areas, especially in the Northeast, and putting them in these reservations, and for the most part to fend for themselves. You've got to be kidding me. And then when all hell breaks loose, when they become violent, when they become drug infested, turning around and blaming somebody else. Turning around and saying, well, I know you live in a drug-infested, crime-ridden place, but you know what? Not our fault. Republicans' fault. Yeah, that's bullshit. You know it is, and I know it is. Well, who took us out of our family homes? Us here. Who blighted our neighborhoods? So you could build condos, so you could build shopping centers, so you could build interstates. The governments, the political officials that were supposed to benefit you, that were supposed to help you, they keep telling you that they're helping you. They're helping you. Really? When did they start helping you? They put your children, they force your children to stay in substandard schools because the unions want them to stay there. Because here's what happens: the more butts in the seats in a school, the more money that comes into that school, and the more money that comes into that school, the more people that can be employed, and the more union members they can have. This is not hard. So the last thing they want is for you to get your black ass up out of that school because you know it's horrible. That's the last thing they want. And you know what? And once one family or two families realize that they could leave through a voucher program and put their kids somewhere where they can actually be educated, then the wildfire starts and people start abandoning those schools like they were on fire. Every place where that the opportunity has been given to people to move their children to schools that they can be confident about, that's exactly what happens. The public schools and those in charge of the public schools and the public school unions don't man up and say, you know what, we've got to do a better job for these children. No, they whine and bitch and complain that Republicans are destroying the public school system. No, your lack of care for your jobs and those children is what's destroying the public school system. That's what's going on there. Ladies and gentlemen, in almost every single state in America, the graduation rate for black children is lower than everywhere else, than everybody else. The highest graduation for black children is in Texas. You thought I was going to say New York or California or some other socialed up piece of crap place like that. Some crap hole like that. No, it's in Texas. And it's only 84%. Tennessee, Montana, Arkansas, Maryland, North Carolina, New Hampshire, Hawaii finished the top 8. Graduation rate in Nevada for black children is 48%. If you've got something to be angry about, there you go. Let me give you something to be pissed off about. You remember, like people my age, when you used to cry and then your parents would go, stop that crying or I'll give you something to cry about. It's always kind of weird because apparently I thought I'd already found something to cry about, but apparently not to your standards. You want something to be angry about? Find out why black kids in Nevada, less than half of them graduate from high school. Find out, even in the best of situations, only 84% of kids graduate from high school. Even in the best of situations in this country. You want to be angry? Find out why that is. If you live in New York, with the high taxes they get paid in New York and New Jersey, 75% of black kids graduate from high school. They have a 25% non-graduation rate. Let's look at another place that is supposed to be this panacea for black people, according to the liberal whites. Let's look. New York City. New York. 63% of black kids graduate in New York. 63%. Only 63%. What? And in New York, that's run by Democrats? No, I'm afraid not. So find out why. If you want to be angry because of that. And even worse than that, let's go to, and I'm going to go there because nobody else wants to go there. Nobody else will go there. But I will because, you know what, I don't give a crap. Be mad at me. Abortion rates for black children by percentage are a little off kilter. I know it's easy to, right now the police officer who the media says is most responsible for the death of Freddie Gray is going on trial, although every other police officer that has gone on trial in the Freddie Gray circumstance has been released and been found not guilty, non-culpable. One more is going on trial here today. This is the person who was supposed to be responsible for getting medical coverage to Freddie Gray. When he asked for it, excuse me, state's not going to be able to prove this case either. like I said a little bit ago, you know what? All the anger about Freddie Gray and Sandra Bland and Trayvon Martin and Mike Brown, we know those names. Here's the names that you don't know. Since 1973, over 15.5 million black children have been murdered in utero by abortion in the 15.5 million people. AIDS, more than violent crimes, more than accidents, more than cancer, more than heart disease. 15.5 million. Minority women constitute about 13% of the female population, ages 15 to 45, in the United States, but they underwent approximately 36% of the abortions. According to Alan Gutmeyer Institute, black women are more than 5 times as likely as white women to have an abortion. On average, 1,876 black babies are aborted every day in the United States. And you want to be mad about Mike Brown? Nigga, please. You want to be mad about Mike Brown? You want to be mad about Trayvon Martin? You want to riot? You want to burn down your own community about Mike Brown? 1,876 black children on a daily basis are being murdered. That's what it is. That's the advantage. Those murdered children are our advantage. Those murdered children would make up the difference of the constant influx of illegal immigrants from Mexico into America. Do you think it's planned? I don't think it's not planned. The President of the United States obviously has had more initiatives about gay, lesbian, transgendered than any initiatives about the suffering in the African American or urban community. If you're angry, if you're mad, be pissed at him. You're the ones that went out on a limb. You're the ones that registered to vote. You're the ones that campaigned. You're the ones that got excited. You're the ones that hopped up and down and screamed and yelled and cried and got in people's faces, did exactly what he told you to do. And 8 years later, 7.5 years later, you're no damn better off than you were before. And a lot of places worse off than you were before. Yes, you should be angry, but you're angry at the wrong people. Don't be angry at Donald Trump. Donald Trump's, like I said earlier in the show, Donald Trump hadn't done a damn thing to you to be angry about him. And stop falling for the same old crap that somebody says that Donald Trump or any white person is racist, and then you just go there. You ain't got a bit of evidence, not one damn bit of evidence to say that this guy's racist, this guy blah blah. You don't know. And when you're pressed on it, then get pissed at the person who presses you on the fact. To see videotapes of Black Lives Matter people disrupting events at DePaul, like children, a grown ass man on the stage blowing a whistle. So the DePaul guest, Milo Yiannopoulos, can't do his presentation. He's sitting on the stage like a 3-year-old blowing a whistle. What the hell is that? That doesn't make our situation better. It makes it worse. It makes us look more like the children. The children. And we have got to stop looking like the children. We've got a call on the New Homes Tampa Bay Newsmaker line, and I promise you we'll get back to that in just a minute, right after these breaks. Thank you so much for coming to fight back. Living in Florida has always been your dream. Buying a brand new home, always been your dream. Now those dreams can come true. If you are relocating to Florida, make sure you call New Homes of Tampa Bay first at 813-770-9452. Nobody does a better job in matching you and your family into the perfect home and the perfect community than my friends at New Homes of Tampa Bay. You can find them on the web at www.
Doing anything good next week, Tampa? Anything better than traveling? Well, with Expedia's last-minute deals, you can pretty much go anywhere you want to go. Last minute for less. Like Orlando for theme parks and wine bars, the two happiest places on earth. Or Miami for the best people watching in the world. Or New York for the best everything else. Get more out of your summer and spend less. Last-minute deals only from Expedia. Expedia. Travel the world better. Terms and conditions apply. See Expedia for details.
newhomestpa.com, or you can give them a call at 813-770-9452. That's 813-770-9452. There is no greater American dream than the dream of home ownership. It is one of the things that separates us from the rest of the world. The fact that an average middle-class family can own a piece of property, call it their home, settle there, and raise a family. In the past few years, it has become more and more difficult for middle-class families to attain this dream. But my friends at New Homes of Tampa Bay are making this dream possible for many, many people. New Homes Tampa Bay, www.newhomestpa.com, 813-770-9452. This is Fight Back, the Internet's premier anti-social justice, anti-communist, anti-socialist program on the Internet. If you are ready to get into this fight, you are amongst friends. If you are not, then this show may be too intense for you. On line one from Charleston, South Carolina, what can we do for you this morning?
Willie, how you doing?
I'm good. So far.
Good.
They say it's going to rain.
Good.
They say it's going to rain here, but I ain't seen no rain yet.
Well, we're getting intermittent rain here, but just want to kind of give you an idea of the atmosphere that we're looking at surrounding this whole homosexual thing. We got the narrative from Barack Obama and that whole crowd, but now what's happening? You got people that are fighting back, and they're not going to put up with allowing anyone, no matter how they identify, to go into the same bathroom with their children. But now that what they've done is they've directed it specifically at the high schools, junior high school, elementary, kindergarten, and preschool. So they're wanting to. The president has done that, but people are fighting back. Now there's an effort, a concerted effort here in this area, the PD region of South Carolina, to combat that. Parents are calling, school board members, congressmen,
awesome,
mayors, you name it, they're calling, and people are seeing this craziness for what it is. And you've got some folks that, and I've been saying it for years, you cannot equate, my blackness to someone else's,
behavior,
because it's just a behavioral thing. It's a choice you can make, and even a lunatic has some control over their behavior, and that's the thing that they're saying. They have no control over their behavior whatsoever. They're forced into this by their nature. So, it's just kind of crazy. I mean, we're going off the rails here. So it doesn't make any sense, and we've got to stand up and fight at every turn the effort to try and say that being black is the same thing as being gay. I didn't think black was I didn't think black was a mental illness.
No,
that's what the American Psychological Association classified homosexuality at one point. And you're right. And when somebody says being gay is the same as being black, I go, no, being black is a condition. It's a yes. Melanin. I have melanin, and that's the only. And other than that, there's any difference. Being gay is an activity. It's an action. It's a behavior. So they're not the same. 100%. So 100%. The idea of, and what bothers me is that there are black so-called community, so-called leaders who hop along this train. I mean, hop along this train because there's money there, and they to push to keep pushing this narrative. It is great to see people fight back. Now, when you fight back, what you're going to find out is that there's going to be resistance. And there's going to be resistance from places that you didn't think there'd be resistance. And I want to encourage everybody in Charleston who's fighting back there, continue the struggle. Your children are worth the effort. Big time. And if you don't fight back, you have no one to blame but yourself. You can't blame the system. Right. You can't blame the mayor. You can't blame white folks. It's your own fault, your own responsibility.
That's exactly right. You know what? I often wonder what my parents would think, what my mother would think if she were to drop. She's gone on to see Jesus back in '83. If she were to drop in for an afternoon or two and see what we've turned into. It's just, I'm sorry. It's sad. It is the saddest thing ever. The things that we buy, the things that we fall into, the narratives that we believe, the narratives that we fight for, the things that we do, don't make a bit of sense.
And the things. Here's the other thing: the things that we don't do, like read, get a good education, where they had to struggle for it, they had to fight for it. I mean, some of them even died for it, and we just kind of pass it off like, oh well, it's no big deal. We don't have to do that anymore. We've arrived. No, you haven't arrived. You have not arrived, not by a long shot. Even if you have arrived, but you have not, anybody will tell you the hardest thing is not getting there. The hardest thing is staying there. That's the hardest thing. Staying there is the hardest part. Once you win a championship, the hardest thing to do is to win another one. And anybody will tell you that. So the idea of that you've attained something, and frankly, a lot of people, and people don't like to hear this when I say this, especially black folks, is that most of y'all haven't done anything. Hell, I'm 55 and I don't feel like I've done anything. And I know if you're 22, I know damn well you've done nothing. You have done nothing but be born and eat and breathe. You have done nothing for the struggle. You have done nothing to push forward the cause of freedom and liberty in the black community. You have done zero. So stop acting like you have because you're a beast on Facebook. Please stop. Well, the thing that gets me is I get labeled as an Uncle Tom. And I look back.
No one's read the book.
Yeah. About everything that I've done in an effort to bring awareness to the issues in the black community, particularly when it applies to early childhood education, early parenting. I've gotten certifications and all that and everything, and volunteered. I didn't get paid for jack, not one penny. I even volunteered as the coordinator for Toys for Tots. I mean, in a 5-county area. My time, my gas, my volunteers, along with other guys. And yet, every time you turn around, I hate black people because I don't think the same way you do politically. It makes you scratch your head.
Well, yeah, but these folks, unfortunately, have been conditioned by other forces to reject anything that doesn't go along with a narrative. To reject, not only reject it, but to reject the people as well. even if the people are feeding them bread, even if it's the same people that bring toys to your apartment, your government apartment at Christmas time, you take the toys, obviously, and you reject the people who brought them. And that's the madness. That's the madness of all of it. The people who are out there who are like you, who are doing the real work to help the very same people, are being rejected by those very people.
Yeah, yeah, and it makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. So I'm like, well, I'll just keep doing it. I'll just keep doing it. That's what God has put in my heart, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. And for me, I take the attitude. See, I'm an old Marine. And we improvise, we adapt, and we overcome. And we don't care who gets the credit as long as the job gets done. And so that's the attitude that, before I went to the Marine Corps, I had that attitude. After I'm getting out of the Marine Corps, I still have that attitude. And I'm going to have it, till the day I die, because, that's what my parents and my belief system, Christian belief system, shows me that that's what I got to ascribe to, and that's what I'm going to do, till the day that I die.
Well, we appreciate again, thank you for your service and in the military, and thank you for your service to your community, because you're the example of how it's supposed to get done. The idea is just to see the need and meet the need, because they need to see us meeting that need. No matter the level of rejection, because we know there's going to be rejection, because these people have been a lot of these folks have been brainwashed to the point that they can't even help it, that their cognitive dissonance bothers them. It bothers them. Now, how they look, and I'm not anything special, but my wife and I participate in a lot of community things. And they look at us and go, "Why are these people out here doing this stuff?" When we're showing up at Little League football games and fundraisers, cleaning chicken and doing all this stuff, they go, they're Republicans? Really? And they're helping them. Like somehow you go, they're space aliens? Those two people, they look black, but they're actually space aliens. So we just smile and say, we're just here to do our part in the community that we live in. We're just here to do our part. But they can't they can't get over that hump because they've been conditioned to. And our job is to understand that and move past that as much as we can. Thanks so much. Thanks so much again for your service in the military. Thanks for your service in your
keep
community.
on.
Thanks for calling. I will.
All right, man. You keep hanging in there. All right.
That's what we do. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
All right. You know what? That's the deal, folks. Just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Fight back. The left has been a bully. And what did we all learn? What did we all learn about bullies? What we learned about bullies were, if they bullied you, what you needed to do was punch them in the nose, and they left you alone. I only have like a minute and a half. George Peoples, who was ended up being a football player for the Dallas Cowboys, went to the University of Auburn, and his mother ended up being my den mother in Cub Scouts. When I got to Tampa, when I got to Progress Elementary School, used to bully me. Used to pick on me because I was smaller and I had a funny accent, and girls sort of gravitated to me because I had that funny accent, and he didn't like it. Now this is back. We were 8-year-olds. He used to pick on me, he used to push me and pull my hair. Just used to torture me until one afternoon. I don't know where I got it from. I don't know where I got the strength from, but I punched him as hard as I could right in his nose, and his nose started to bleed. I learned right then that he wasn't so bad. He wasn't so bad. He cried and he bled. And he never bullied me again. As a matter of fact, we became friends. His mother ended up being my den mother when I was in Cub Scouts. I learned then, fight back. Alinsky's first tactic is power isn't what you have. necessarily is what your enemy thinks you have. They ain't so bad. Fight back. Fight back. My name is Billy Lawson. I'm the host of Fight Back here on Blog Talk Radio. Until we see you again, go out there and learn something, love somebody, and for goodness sakes, take care of yourself. We'll see you when we see you.